No time to plot from Snare Lord. Welcome to the Worldbuilding podcast. We all love dragons. First thing that I want to bring up with this is actually a dragon town. So DMs always have terrible knack for like naming things. I already have a name by the name of Wyongmoe Bay. If you want some sort of name for a town, my two recommendations are effectively like the fantasynamegenerators.com. It'll just gonna have like a bunch of random names. There should be a normal and a other one. There's also like Dwarven and other cities on that site, so do recommend it. Uh, but yeah. Uh, Also with namegenerator.org .uk/town, you can find fictional names based off some of the things. It's honestly a great resources if you are like me and you don't know what to do for a town name. Or even an NPC name, we don't judge. Names are just hard for DMs, let's be real. So, I already have a world, so I'll be using some of that. My world map is in total 60 by 60. So that means from sea to sea, it is 18,432,000 feet. So, if you need to know about how big that is, that means that my world map is 3,490 miles or so. China's about 3,000. I have multiple ones, so I'm currently working on a country. I'm going to be making the 13th town. That country is currently 654, or about like 2 New Yorks. So if you go to America on the map and look at like the size of New York, put that onto the map twice, and that's basically the size. Because I have the world map titles as 54, 54 miles or so. That's just simply for the fact that I normally do that as it is the amount of time that the average speed player, being about 30 speed, would be able to cover in a day. Assuming that they spend 16 hours walking, so like, sometimes they might hit town, sometimes they won't, and I'm planning it to be about 2 away from where I'm currently at. So that means that some of the dragons, or these dragonborns that are likely to show up here, are, since it's a coastal region, it will be a blue dragon, and also, actually, yeah, that just fits for the chromatics. Technically, there will be a pink one that I will address later if you want that. Like, if you're watching this on YouTube, you should find it down in the description. Anyway, so for the metallics, the only one that really goes and fits there is a bronze dragon. So that's actually very interesting. Now, neutral, we do have a lot. So, believe it or not, there are dragon turtles. I'm sure that you can find a turtle dragonborn. I forget if I have one, but like, turtle dragonborns are probably a thing. Let's be real. At least assuming that like all the other dragonborns are a thing. And then 2 other ones that I could reason being here as well: an amethyst dragon and a topaz dragon. So the interesting thing about this town is the fact that when I was originally putting it, I figured that would be probably like the neutral party is going between a blue dragonborn, or the blue dragonborn group, and the bronze dragonborn group. That's technically not the case because it actually bronze will still be in there in the city. Don't get me wrong. I do feel like topaz is probably gonna be in the city, which means that the two opposing forces are actually probably gonna be a little bit more on bronze and topaz. So I'm not entirely sure if I want to have blue be in there. Now, from the typical lore that I've looked up for a pink dragonborn, it's usually been a little bit more on effectively neutral. So I do reason for that. Anyway, moving on to the map. I currently have set up a 60 by 60 map. I will usually be using Dungeon Paper Studios for any map that you see. The main reason for that is as I just find it so much easier to like move around with layers and stuff. And then the other reason is the fact that typically there's just so much more capability with it because there's not as much power. Or to be fair though, I do kind of forget about the other stuff. So I do have multiple towns. I usually try to go and keep everything like normally situated. So I have my current town set up with natural water. Actually, I think that it says B right on this thing. No, actually it's on there. So like if you're also using Dungeon Painter Studio, it would be A. I frequently go and just like I love it for the fact that like if I need to quickly edit a map or something, then yeah, sure, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly capable. I never have to really worry that much. Sometimes I do have to worry about for the fact of just my own stupidity and stuff about what thing was I using. And there's times where I'm absolutely smart, then there's times where I'm an absolute idiot. No, there's never an in between. So yeah, I'm personally very much just a very creative DM. So like, I really enjoy doing exactly what this is. So, and this town, much like the other one, I'm probably gonna give it about like 5 to 10 squares of beach. Cause yeah, oh, I did 10. Oh, I'm not gonna give it that much. Mainly because like, you can get by with not having as much water. But I frequently have female NPCs, is just so that the players, if they feel like they want to romance the NPCs, they can. And typically I have like female NPCs just doing whatever. I usually do run a more modern setting as well. So typically I'll also have roads of 4 yeah, like there'll be like 4 in some direction, usually like a 4x4 corner. How far up it goes usually just depends on how I feel in this given day. Like it is what it is. I do know that if you're experienced, feel free to do like what I do, where I go and create a magic shop as well. But like I do know that if you're not that experienced, I do kind of recommend against a magic shop because it's just so much harder to balance and the party around like, oh hey yeah, let's go and just like have any sort of magic item that we could like ever want in this town. Um yeah, sure, right. I'm currently running a police campaign, so I'm going to just make the uh, I'm gonna make the police station right about now. Usually, actually, I want it to be more of an arc. Uh, or rather about the polyline. And the thing I like most about the polyline is that after you've made it, you can just edit, and it'll be ready to fill in. Um, Part of why I love Dungeon Painting Studio is the fact of that, and then also the fact that I can just have this police station done. I don't have to worry about like too many parts with it, uh, and I can actually like download everything like from the workshop. So it's not necessarily like the best. If you can make the art, I definitely fully recommend it. Because it can be quite limiting, I do know. But like once you get past the limits of the software, it can be a really like detailed, really enjoyable. As with everything, there's a learning curve, but uh, it all just depends on how you want. Uh, I really do enjoy the fact that I can just if I decided to mess up, or rather if I've messed up and figured out like, oh hey yeah, I placed that wall incorrectly, like I actually did. I can just it's like click towards the top and it'll be fine. And if I am just looking out, oh hey, I want it to be like I how far away is this sort of thing? I have no idea why it just randomly went down to the bottom. Software is derpy sometimes. So I guess I accidentally clicked or something. Um, Maybe that is what it is. Because yeah, this like I said, the software can be like quite good. It can also be quite bad. It just depends on about like how detailed do you want? How much effort are you wanting to place into your various maps? And and then something else that is of good note uh, is, or at least something else I usually will use as well. Uh, it is a little bit more expensive than Dungeon Painter Studio, but if you don't like the fact that you have to do to be a little bit more knowledgeable about it, then what you can do is with Dungeon Alchemist, it'll go and populate for you typically. So like it's a very useful tool. It's very good. I do recommend that as well. It's in early access. They're adding more things. I really do want them to add in a swamp from that, but that's neither here nor there. I've done that as well. So I don't really worry too much about that. Um, so that's the police station, and Oh wait, actually, I forgot a chair in the police station. Let me go and just add a chair real quickly. Oh, whoops, wrong one. It's the right. Ah, what helped if I was into objects, not walls. Yes, that's very much what it is. I don't really like the armchairs for the police station. It should be something that is easy to get up and out of. So I don't like any of the ones that are like, oh. What would help if I'm not in armchairs where they're going to specifically have that. Do I not have any chairs? Oh, no, I don't want to search for that. I guess I don't. I guess I just do deal with the armchairs. Okay. Fair enough. Either that or it's only going for the one that I have, but oh well. It is what it is. Like I said, if you're watching this on YouTube, or getting this on YouTube, that's where I recommend it, but if you are, or at least I'm going to just assume you are, and so anything that you might need or want is all down in the description. Like I said, this the software that I use is about like $10 or so. No, actually, I think it's 15. Yeah, I just checked. It is 15. Do you know the only real unfortunate thing with Dungeon Painter opposed to Dungeon Alchemist? Dungeon Alchemist is going to be updates, or at least I trust it to be updated. I don't think this one's getting updated, but it is what it is. So, yeah, basically, there's three things I will usually... actually, 4 things I will usually make, like, first on a town. So right now I've had the PlayStation because that's the set I'm doing. I don't know whether I want this to be the tavern, or if I want this to be the... I don't know whether I want to do a tavern or if I want to do a blacksmith store next. I guess I would do... actually, I guess it depends on how I want it to be. Because, like, dragons usually love having some sort of, like, food. Now, I'm going to be... I'm making this assuming that this... that the district that I'm making is actually... the neutral district. So I'm assuming in the neutral district that there's probably like some sort of inn, because like it's a neutral ground. That's where like visitors go. The neutral district is basically just like what I call the usual hub. I usually don't worry about too many things outside of the central hub, simply because if you're worrying about things outside the main hub, then you are worried about the wrong thing entirely. I will be real, your players will never really be worried about things outside the central hub. Well, I guess I can't say that. Typically they're not going to be. I personally just prefer to go and make it based off of function. So if they have no need to do anything with it, then I'm going to assume that it's not on the map, or I'm not going to make it for the map. Like, I assume with basically every single place that there's some sort of residential area where basically people have houses, and that's where everybody like sleeps, at least if they live in town. Yeah, I never have made a residential one. Actually, I've made it once, and then after I've made it once, I then realized that technically they would never go there, or they might go there and then have like, okay, what are we doing here? It's like, no idea. like unless they have some specific reason to be there, like a NPC is living in the town, um, and like they usually get their like quest or something from that NPC's house. Like at that point, okay, maybe you do that, but in general, you're not gonna find that much use in that. Actually, I guess that since these are dragons, I probably do a magic store first. So once again, yeah, I'll just go and use the interior props that I gonna have for the software. Part of why I love having this is the fact that I can just make a table or place a table. That's usually what I just use as the counter. If you're actually seeing what I'm doing, then yeah, like you'll see that I did that for the police station, and that's just kind of how I am. Since this is a coastal city, I'll probably make a swimsuit type area as well, just simply because not often in medieval times would they have that, but like I said, I run a more modern one. So like in my setting, I actually technically do have cars. I have figured out a little bit more about how cars would work, basically. But that said, though, yeah, you're still probably not going to be in this world getting through the entire map in one time. But that's also just simply because like I've figured out about like the full extent about how far that is. I mean, to be fair, I might have messed it up or messed up my calculations, but like it is what it is. So, like I said, in the interior props, I usually prefer to find like oh wait, no, it's the table color, right? Yeah. So there's times where I go in and use like a bit of coin to determine that it's like some sort of shop. Yeah, with the magic shop, I usually use the magic and arcana section of table clutter with dungeon painter, but you do you. Yeah, here we have a yeah, we'll probably have like a orange type crystals. The reason for that, okay, I'm gonna have to not have to be on the grid because yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, this is gonna be one of those times where it doesn't want to work with the grid. Usually if I place it on a table, I'll be real that like I do normally have to break it. I just try without first and see about how it goes. Yeah, so as this is a magic shop, there's probably gonna be scrolls as well. But like it is what it is. Now scrolls are basically just like more things I will be real that wizards have functions with. Don't get me wrong, you'll find that with the other people as well. Just wizards are typically the main ones that do that. Mainly for the fact that with wizards, you actually can go. Oh, and if you want to be a really nice DM, at least, you can use that to transfer spells to them at a lot cheaper of a rate than like finding a spell book There's probably also gonna be spell tomes in the magic shop, so I'll be adding some of them to my map as well. But it is what it is. So, I think that's about it for the magic shop. I don't really have that much else to do, so let's take it back onto by grid. Now you can group them. I just normally don't because as I'm just absolutely weird. But yeah. I will say that somebody smart would definitely be using that, but like, I GMs are either the most creative people in the world or the dumbest and laziest. It usually does not. Usually kind of depends on that the player base that you're playing into. I I will throw them all under the bus right now. Yeah, my players are absolute idiots. Like, there's times where I go and say that, like, yeah, I mess up, such as like the Cactus Pirate Angel thing that I did, which for reference, that was a passcode for like, Peter in my world, because like I said, I run a more modern style of game. I guess I'll do an in next as I'm talking about the in. Now, for reference, I also do normally leave a 2 blocks or 2 tiles distance, partly for the fact that like I usually prefer that like even for alleys that there's a gap for 2 people. I'll get a little bit more onto that after I finish the story, but yeah, with Cactus Pirate Angel, what I was trying to have done is I was trying to get it to be the password of Celestials or Pricks backwards, basically. So obviously Cactus is prickly, obviously pirates can say R. They got both of those. That was the best they did. They I'm not gonna say that it's their fault, but like, yeah, I don't know why. I guess I'm just like absolutely weird, and so like you go and say like oh hey Angel, I'm probably gonna think Celestial because like that's how the damage type is for D&D. Like a D&D creature is an angel in D&D is celestial. So to me, it makes a whole lot of sense that you go and want an angel, and we're talking about D&D, that I'm going to go for angel. Like I said, that's I'm not gonna say that that's them being dumb. That was me being dumb and just like a little bit, I guess, too. Like it was just a mess. I'll be real. That's one of my major flaws. I usually make things like absolutely complicated, and then just effectively fall on the face. Actually, you know what? Probably the magic store, like right above it. I'm going to make a inn. So I will need to grab the. Oh yeah, no. It's, for a second there, I thought it wasn't going to the line, but it is. So yeah, I'm gonna grab a good old table. And then start making some rooms. Now frequently I will gonna use stone walls, basically. The reason for that is I just kind of prefer it, and like I said, it's a little bit more modern of a setting, so like there are times where like people might want extra security and stuff like that. Now for in rooms, I will usually do a little bit more of a break on the yeah. Let's have a 2x2 gap, but it does depend about like what are we doing. Actually, I probably should have that be 1 over, so yeah, I'm gonna do it there. Okay, so that's gonna be 1 more 3 tile. So I will also have bathrooms in my world for like reference. And so if it seems like I'm making a bathroom or some sort of weird room, then yeah, I probably am. Oh dear. I am now realizing that I haven't effectively made it that easy to make a bathroom in this area. So for these 4x4 4x3 rooms, I'll usually place it in a double bed, basically. But nope, I don't. Let me go to Control Z because I don't want that bed there. Like, yeah, sure. Let's just have a bed randomly out of town. Yeah. The main reason why I do have like occasional like double bed rooms is just for the fact that some players are into like bunking together. Sometimes they're charged by the room. Sometimes they're charged by well, yeah, basically like due to world differences, some inns will charge by the room, some will charge by like per person. It is what it is. Typically, if they're a little bit more greedy, they will charge per person. But like there are times where effectively the NPC would just be like, yeah, no, I want you to be using this room, or rather like, yeah, not so much like I desiring them to like be paying per person, but more just that they kind of just leave the people to their devices. So it's like, hey, if you want 50 people in that room, okay, sure, I don't care. It's going to be really, really cramped in there. But if you want 50 people in that room for some odd reason, you can do it. Like they will literally not stop you. But like it does depend about how it is. Oh yes, right. I keep forgetting that in dungeon, that's the dungeon decor one that actually like has for some reason the toilets. Do not ask me why the person did that. It just is. I know I have sinks as well. I think it's in. I think it's also in. Yeah, it's also in interior props. Like I said, I normally have bathrooms as well. It just kind of depends about like, how is the world basically. Um, Sometimes I also do worry about the doors at the start. Sometimes I worry about the doors at the end. And I frequently, with Dungeon Painter, go and just worry about doing the doors with like the wooden style ending, and or the like flat wood part as kind of like that's the way the door opens. Obviously, like I like you can change anything with this all. So like just simply because I say that I'm doing standard lore, uh, it does not mean that you have to do it exactly like how I am doing it. Do remember that it is your world ultimately. So we do, like most DMs will recommend for you to at least have some understanding with your players or about like oh hey yeah, like here are some of the other rules, but if there's some sort of vagueness or you just don't know the rules at that point, uh, then there's nothing saying that you can't just say like uh yeah, sure. That's how it works. Like, who cares about like whether or not somebody can cast 2 fireballs in the same turn? And if you don't move, yeah, sure, you can cast like 2 fireballs. Even though technically, like rules as written, they only should have had 1 action to have casted 1 of those 5 fireballs. And rules as written, they actually should not have been able to have casted a second spell with a level. Now they could cast Fireball, and then with a bonus action or a second action, cast Firebolt. Notice there's Ball and Bolt. 2 entirely different spells. One's cantrip, one's it's a 3rd level spell. But it is what it is. But yeah. Like, that is a legal turn, and frankly, like if you want it to be legal for them to do 2 fireballs, then like use to stop you. I will say that a lot of times I do balance my encounters around one of them having 2 actions. I will also normally balance it around basically them having capability to do like multiple cantrips or 1 spell with level, and then just however many cantrips they can cast. Like basically that's usually how I do it, but it is what it is. Yeah, actually, I'll do right behind the inn as the tavern. So, frequently, what I do for a tavern is I do very much similar to the actual like regular shops, but there is one major difference that I frequently do. If I can, like I said, sometimes I'm smart, sometimes I'm dumb. I am completely blanking on where the frick my tables are. There it is. Complain and you'll find out. Yes, that's exactly how you need to do it. Don't actually complain to your players though. Don't worry, it's fine. Now, to be fair, I also do online, so like for reference, I usually have the rules as easily and searchable. Feel free to always use Google if you're questioning a rule and you need a rule just real quickly. I often use Google whenever I am unsure. My latest attempt of using Google, I believe, was with Initiative, funny enough. And the article in question was me having a point where they needed where yeah, like it was a point where time mattered, so I had them roll initiative, and then they basically just started assuming that they automatically were in a fight. And the important note about initiative is that is not actually how initiative works. It can work that way. It often works that way. But part of why I needed to look it up was the fact that uh, I just flat out did not know about how the rule was. So, basically, uh, from what as far as I could tell, as far as what I can see from other DMs, it basically is just like, uh, yeah, if you have, if you need to worry about time, such as, for example, if a party member is still down, or if, like, say, yeah, like, say there's an earthquake in this town, and they're in a building. They might have a turn, depending on how bad the structure is, to run out. And so, at that point, like, it matters about the time. So everybody needs initiative because we need to know about who's acting, when, and what are they doing. And and so, like, that's the very useful thing about initiative. Another useful thing about initiative is as just as if you need to know about who's being first to introduce themselves or whatever else you need to worry about in a campaign, then yeah, uh, have them roll initiative. That is an idea that I got from a player. Do know that D&D doesn't actually work that well as a big old group. Do be careful about that. It is something that I often run into, especially when it's like, yeah, sure, let's go play with like a bunch of people and like a lot of people are friends. Because like I don't want to necessarily kick anybody out. I don't want to deny anybody the chance to play that wants to play. Uh, but the major issue that goes and runs into is as combat goes on and as social things go on, there's so many people talking about it, such as like the person that man told me to go and do that. I actually didn't initially hear them to do that. Like I just straight up for whatever reason, did not hear. And like honestly, that's a absolutely amazing idea. I do apologize to that player. I wish I had heard them in the time. Um, do note that that was something that was a failed thing. Never worry about experimenting. Feel free to always experiment in D&D, even if it is like a slightly modified system, such as like I placing a board game or something. But if you are going to be like royally changing the systems to where, like, for example, you can't actually do a actual attack, so like there's no roll to hit, for example. If you're in one of those worlds, I do kind of recommend having it be like a skill check, or recommend it to be like uh something that you can like easily bail out of if you feel like the players are not enjoying it. So yeah. I will say that I am kind of surprised that one of the players from that first failure actually gave me a second chance as a DM, because like I will be the one of the first to tell you that like yeah, uh that idea kind of was bad. It failed, and yeah, um, like it was definitely a campaign that was not really long for the world. So yeah, uh, uh, don't get me wrong, I do occasionally reference that world with some of my other worlds. If you're really curious about which one that is, on my YouTube channel, I do have or at least I should have a playlist that is like, which one is it? So yeah, I don't know why I'm not seeing the playlist, but like I guess I just haven't created one for our otherworldly transportation, and you should be able to find it. By the time this goes up, I might actually they have created a playlist just for anybody that wants to see my first campaign, and I frankly don't recommend it unless you want to see like probably things that you should not do as a DM. Because that is the interesting thing about doing like about watching like other DMs. Sometimes it might actually be good to like deal with bad DMs or to watch DMs that have no idea about what they're doing, just simply because they actually can give you an idea about what not to do. So it all matters about like how well do you learn. And if you're just like getting into DM and you're watching this, is one, congrats. I'm surprised you made it to here. But two, uh, uh, I frankly just say like power to you and congrats. It's like you don't really have to ever have your world done. Like as I mentioned, like I've done 42 sessions in the world that I'm doing. I'm still building things like this for this world. And like I still have not even finished this town. Wait, where was I at? Let's see. I've created the. Oh yeah, right. I'm working on the. Yeah, I just need objects in this area. Because, like I said with Dungeon Painter Studios, some of the things that I typically like using and why I typically like having it is the fact that like if I need a somewhat detailed map like really quickly, then like yeah, sure, I can just panically well yeah, like because I know what I'm doing, and at the very least is in a panic I can literally just like make up a dungeon. So such as like if I go and just for some reason say like, hey, by the way, there's a like freaking hold on. Yeah, if there's like say a blue dragon in lair around, and I don't know why there would be when there's no blue dragons around, because in my world yeah, typically the dragons will be spawned from, or the dragonborns will be spawned from the dragon itself, effectively. So like it kind of just depends about like who's the female of the relationship as to whether it becomes a dragonborn basically. Actually I guess like it would be a dragonborn regardless if it's a male or female that's doing it, but like it just kind of it kind of just depends about how things go. Obviously, not every dragon would be into humans, and I forget on some of mine. But yeah, I normally just have like suits of armor or to denote the little forge area. Uh, like I said with Dungeon Painter, one of the things that is neat is the fact that they just uh they just have suits of armor that you can just like place down to decorate maps like immediately. It's not really an issue. So yeah. Uh I will be real though, like uh due to the levels of adventures, a lot of the armors that I place in the towns are not actually going to be sold because most people will either have it or they'll just flat out like just not need it because they don't really get into a fight. So uh it just kind of depends about how you have your world. Now do note, while I do say that often they're not going to be having be going unsold, that doesn't mean that they never get sold. Doesn't mean that they rely on the player's business. I'll say they probably don't, because like people in the forge are, well, yes, the main thing is for armor stuff. I would say that they might make firearms. They might make like assorted other metals and stuff that kind of make it at least a little bit better. But yeah, for the most part, that's kind of like what everything is. I like never go and worry about drawing a blank about what you're doing. Because I'll be real now, I actually don't have any idea about what I want to add into this town. Actually, I guess. Actually, I guess that there's the swimsuit store, but yeah. Uh, how big would this be? So it'll be 13 by 10. Actually, 13 by 11. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. I have a swimsuit store. Guess look at the current one. I don't really know that in there. So yeah, in this one, there's an inn, there's a tavern. Yeah, nothing really stands out. Okay, so the other coastal town that I really know off the top of my head is Ashmuxti. Anything else that is notable from this? So this sort of kind of is what I'm doing. I already have the armory. I already have the magic store. Yeah, no, not quite sure actually on what I want to do. I guess I'll just leave the map as is. So yeah, let's just do. I guess while I go and decide about what else I might want to plot in the town, I'll just go and bring up a notepad basically. Because yes, I normally use a notepad. I don't really care. So I guess kind of like I do mapping. So left would be Bahamut's side. So I would go and say that that's a bronze. Center is a neutral. And then the right is Topaz slash Blue Dragon. So I can see the dragon that's closest to that area is actually the Amethyst Dragon. And that one I can see. Like the center is probably going to be more on the pink dragonborns, which is why I made this town, and the amethyst ones. I don't know why I always misspell amethyst. I don't. Like I don't know. Well, I guess it's just because like there's like it's like AME. Like it's always that way. And I don't know why I always do like AMY. It's just kind of one of those like weird things to me. So yeah. Obviously, the center is to try to keep the peace. The right side is kind of the ones that are like the agitators, I guess. Uh, is there anything that I have noted on it? No, I guess I'll go for something. I can't think of any other metallic one. I'm gonna go with bronze. So there's that. Um, there's a bunch of roll tables. I don't know if I wanted to use one of the roll tables, but actually, I guess I can just. Actually, I have a physical die. You don't need to have physical dies. I technically am on a client. I could technically roll this digitally, but I don't care. I like the sapphire dice that I have. Okay. I typically go for that female is low. Because typically on the roll tables it's a female, so like, bronze, female dragonborn. So that's the leader on the right side, and I guess that this one would be a topaz as one. I don't know why I have it listed as dragon. I guess. Actually, I guess I could have just done shorthand, but yeah. Okay. That's kind of funny. Okay, so it's a topaz male dragonborn, and that will be a thing. So I do have an idea for the current leader. I don't want to fully, like, say it specifically to where like all other people will have access to it. If you want to see the NPC, then when they come to it at some point, I will probably like have LinkedIn. Yeah, I'll probably have in the YouTube description the video. I'm not sure about whether I can do that on some of the other platforms. I just know YouTube the best. All right. I guess I'll go for a pink one in the center. Actually, no, probably an amethyst one. I would say an amethyst probably takes over. I currently have it be in pink. Okay. So an amethyst. Wrong misspelling again. I don't know why. I am so used to typing amethyst as AMY. I don't know. It's the wrong spelling. It's always been the wrong spelling, and it's just is what it is, I guess. Now I will use a digital client for this part, because luckily there is a bunch like for the client I do have a bunch of roll tables. Now I find them or at least they get credited to Xanthar's Guide to Everything. So like feel free for that. Let's see. So this is a forest one. So French could work. Indian maybe. Congo names not going to really do that. Polynesian, Roman, Slavic, nah. Spanish, nah. I guess I'd go for like Japanese names. Sure, why not? The original one is going to be a Sakura Dragon one. Oh, okay. So if I take... Wait. Oh, yeah, there's mail. Okay, so... I'll do 3D 100. You know, sure, let's just terrify my players. Just have it be a public 3D 100. Why not? I am sure they'll be just terrified about it later. Okay. So I'll go down the list then. The amethyst one is Chio. Do not ask me about last name. I did a roll table for first name, so like I did a roll table to know that the bronze dragon is named Kimiko, with the amethyst being named Chio. Do not ask me for a freaking last name because I would not be able to tell you. And then, I'm not sure how much I like the Topaz one being Takehiko, but it is what it is. I would say that's a good enough point. Alright, so I hope y'all enjoyed this. As I will yap much like this as on stream. Just do note that if you catch me on stream, Gordon underscore fan 42. Like, I may not yap all the time on D&D. However, that said, I will still yap about any sort of topic you give me. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to go down to the comments below and suggest other things. And do note, I will probably finish up this idea a little bit later. I will figure out about what do I need to do left before I go and do the next episode, because like I said, I need to figure out like how do I want to finish off this town, because I technically could shrink the town on like it's not going to be that big of a deal. Basically just kind of like cut off some of the things, but like it is what it is. I'm forgetting about how much I need to cut off. But there's not really going to be like the town map for the most part is done. But yeah, it is what it is. Oh, whoops. Control Y, right? Yeah, that works. Okay, cool. But yeah. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Like I said, I do recommend watching this podcast on YouTube because it gives the description so you can see everything that I do. When I start going more into like if I go and use a pink Dragonborn, I will probably have LinkedIn that as well. Do note that. I will see about whether or not I want to do like any second in commands. So yeah. I'm not too sure about whether I want to do a blue one, but I would definitely be real. I don't mind any of the neutrals. So, or multiple neutrals. So, there's probably gonna be pink Dragonborns in this area. There's probably gonna be amethyst Dragonborns in this area. So I do recommend having Fizzbands. I do recommend having Xanthars. Do recommend having yeah, I do recommend having Dungeon Master Studio as well for this as well. But ultimately, it's just how do you want to run your campaign? That's always is the number one priority. I've just been giving you ideas, and I do hope that you all continue to tune in and probably every Saturday at 8 a.m. 11 a.m. Eastern, and for more podcast episodes of this. But hopefully I see you on stream. Ultimately, I'll see everyone wherever I see you all.